Ridgeside Canine, you know what time it is. Time to talk dogs, time to talk small business, time to talk about all kinds of stuff. Got some important things on my mind. Wanted to share, wanted to get it out. Got nothing better to do but drive right now. And I'm going to a turnover with one of our trainers, Scott. A little bit of supervision, a little bit of sharing, a little bit of helping. Teamwork makes the dream work. Anyway, give me 1 second. Everything runs on Duncan. All right, so topic of today's Ridgeside Rant. The first thing is going to be to talk about some small business influence I had. And I had a meeting with a client the other day. Not a meeting, but a pickup. And I sat with these clients, and they're very successful people. And they gave me some tidbit, man. I wanted to share a little bit of it. Some of it's private, some of it I wanted to share. Maybe it can touch some other small business owners. Second thing, I want to touch on and talk about dog fights. We've had an uptick. Not an uptick by any means, but dog fights happen. And there's a lot of misconceptions, misnomers, unrealistic expectations, things like this. So we're going to talk about that. Talk about overall Ridgeside business and get it going. So first and foremost, the other day, did a pick up 2 dogs in the Leesburg area, Loudoun County, and very successful small business owners, and they're phenomenal people. Listen, the amount of people that I'm blessed to have in my life, in my corner, standing strong behind Ridgeside, supporting Ridgeside, sometimes I can't wrap my head around it. To every other small business owner out there, never, ever, ever overlook the assistance, the guidance, the intelligence, the shared entrepreneur vision of senior small business owners, people that have been doing it for 40 years, 50 years, their whole life. I mean, typically when you see an entrepreneur, it's a lifelong thing. They don't stop working. You know, they don't retire and go live on the beach like, you know, it is on YouTube. They just work and work and work. And when they get successful, they get more successful and more successful because they continue to grind and continue to work. Anyway, went to an awesome neighborhood and beautiful home. 2 amazing people, small business owners in Loudoun County. And we talked for, I think, the better part of 2 hours. Maybe not 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. It's a pretty long time. But man, they just shared the wife. The wife came out and said, "Hey, can I tell you something? We were talking about this the other day. We wanted to share it with you. It's in direct reference to you." And I said, "For sure." And they gave me some hard advice. It was some directed advice that you would only give a friend. And I appreciated that because I do consider them my friends. And it was not, "You're doing so great." It was not, "Everything's awesome." It was not that kind of advice. It was actually, "Hey, we think you're making a big mistake on an aspect of something, and we want to talk to you about it." And it's very humbling, but it's also very gracious of them to do that. It's very humbling for me, but very gracious from them to share with me their concern based on their experience. And you know, we talked about it, and I basically just agreed on everything they were saying, and got their dogs, went home, checked their dogs in, whatever. And it really hit me that night, like how much small business owners share constructive criticism with other small business owners. Very few. Everybody wants to be told, "This is great, you're doing phenomenal, we watch you," this and that. But very few times when you see something somebody else is doing, in the back of your mind you go, "Man, I'd be real careful doing that. Like, that just seems like it might not be a good idea based on my experience, based on situations that I've been through," whatever. Share it. Tell that person. You know, you might save them a tremendous amount of money or heartache or failure, etc. And
text message from
I was just real grateful for that conversation. So to that, I challenge, I say it again, I challenge as many small business owners, entrepreneurs as can do it. If you have advice to give another small business owner or entrepreneur, do it, share it, get on it, get out there, let them know, talk to them. We got to open these conversations up way more to help each other out way more. That was my first topic. Second topic, dog fights. Had another awesome client, again, small business owner, phenomenal Ridgeside supporter, phenomenal people, neighbors. They have 2 pretty serious dogs. They have a Malinois and a Dutch Shepherd, and both of them are high drive dogs by any measure. And they're both full-time farm dogs. They're little roughneck dogs. One, the Malinois, came to me a while back for very real aggression issues. did pretty good behavior modification on the dog. Fully off leash, rock and roll, yada yada yada. The Dutch Shepherd, I actually sold them as a Dutch Shepherd that we bred in house, and then we had Will down at Ridgeside, Carolina, trained that dog on overflow, and did a phenomenal job. Both the dogs are highly trained, fully off leash, whatever. But it doesn't mean there won't be dogs. And there were some variables to this event the other day that caused a dog fight to happen. And 2 females, it doesn't take a lot sometimes when they get older to set off a trigger event, and it calls a dog fight. That part's not a big deal. I commend the 2 clients. The mother-daughter jumped in the middle of it. And these are serious dogs. These aren't fluff dogs. They jumped in the middle of it, started whooping ass, taking names, couple of broken bones, punctures. I mean, this was a real situation. So the awesome part was that when I got notified of it, there was almost like laughter and like, we're so stupid, we made all these mistakes, this was what happened. And as I was reading what happened, I was like sweating almost, because I was like, this was not good. You know, this maybe could have been avoided, probably could have been avoided, 100% could have been avoided. But when you live with dogs every day, all day, in the moment, you forget just how serious your own dog is. And I'm just as guilty of that. Everybody is. If you live with a crusher, a badass, a savage, all these stupid words everybody puts on it, if you live with a dog like that, they will bite. When it's your dog, you forget just how much damage they can do in a blink of an eye. You see, I critique hard fellow decoys when I see sport decoys just wearing a jacket, no bottoms, just wearing a bottoms, no top, wearing a bottoms, no shoes. Crazy shit, stupid shit that will, I mean, I'm telling you, it's a matter of time. So, you know, until you've seen a dramatic dog bite, a police dog bite, a police apprehension, where body parts have been removed, biceps completely taken off the body, forearms taken off the body, calf muscles ripped off the body, massive trauma in a matter of seconds. Until you've truly seen that or experienced it, you can't respect what can happen when something goes wrong. So whether it's we're managing our own dogs or we're a decoy doing sport work, don't get crazy. Don't trust that dog. You like to wear a top and take a frontal hit, not thinking the dog might have a moment of clarity and hit you in the leg or the groin or the shin, or the dog pops and adjusts, or no, the dog's great, he'll never pop. Yeah, until he does, right? The dog always hits the bicep. That's great until he doesn't. You know, like this shit happens quick, man. It's crazy. You got to really be careful. So anyway, dog fights. Common myths, right? You can grab their back legs and pull them apart. You can grab their tails. You know, pour water on them, slap them, hit them with a belt. All the stupid stuff you see people doing. Listen, for house pets, some of that stuff works. That's the truth, right? If one dog's bringing it and the other dog is like so submitting or not as committed to the fight, that stuff may work. When you have 2 high drive dogs that are bringing it and both the dogs have some gameness to them, it ain't gonna work. Yelling, screaming, punching, kicking, grabbing the back legs, none of that shit works. You're only driving a dog more to drive. Control the damn dogs. If the bite's already occurred, you're not gonna have any more damage by the bite staying there. Where you're gonna have massive trauma is by ripping the dog off, and now skin, flesh, bone, muscle, tendons, ligaments, they get removed from the body. And then you have massive trauma. Punctures are fine, crushing is fine. When we start removing massive amounts of tissue, this is a big problem. So, control the dogs. If you gotta go in there, and you have to, there's no way around it, get in and get a hold of the throat, right? The fastest way to pop a dog off any bite, via dog fight, animal bite, or human, is to gaff the dog. People call these things break bars. There's a big difference between a break bar and a gaff. And when you think about a gaff, think about any kind of object. It could be a stick in an emergency. It could be a damn screwdriver in an emergency. It could be a handcuffed open, but they make break bars, a gaffed bar. Very smooth, rounded, very thin piece of metal, about the size of your pinky. Go in the back of the gum, and go straight to the back of that damn throat and roll it. You will get a gag reflex. Every dog in the world, every badass savage that won't out will immediately pop on the fight. They cannot resist it. They cannot. It's an immediate out. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to out stop. So make sure you have control, positive control, pop and remove. Milliseconds to get a dog off a bite. There's no excuse to be sitting there screaming, yelling, pulling, all this stupid shit when just damage is just multiplying by the second. You know what I mean? Pop, lift, go. Very simple. Get them apart. Now, clearly, if you never dealt with that over and over and over, and it's a muscle memory thing, it's a confidence thing, it can be very nerve-wracking when dogs are going at it. Get a hold of dogs. You don't have it gaffed, get underneath that collars and choke the dog. Come up, lift in, choke. Stop the dog from biting. Don't pull. If you don't have that, come under, grab that damn throat, crush. Do anything you can do to stop them safely, but just remember, the second they pop on that bite, you've got to have positive control. They're going to go right back into it. If you pop one dog without popping the other one and lift the dog up, now you're exposing dog B to B's belly to dog A. So now when you lift one dog up, the other dog comes in and hits him in the belly. Now you have most likely certain death if it's serious dogs. So this all goes back to, though, an ounce of prevention, right, is worth a pound of cure every time. So manage. Dictate and manipulate the environment. Control every aspect of living when you have multiple serious dogs. Anything over one is a pack. 2 dogs, pack. 3 dogs, pack. Don't think you just have 2 or 3. Oh, I don't really have a pack, I just have a couple dogs. No, you have a pack of dogs. So dictate, manipulate, manage everything. When it comes to stimulus, it doesn't take a lot to trigger a dog fight. 1 piece of food, 2 dogs, dog fight. 1 toy, 2 dogs, dog fight. A little bit of affection on 1 dog, 2 dogs, dog fight. This has nothing to do with training in any capacity. This is management of instinctual drives, okay? Period, end of story. I don't want to call it genetic drives. It's instinct more than it is genetics. But just remember, you've got to manage and manipulate. Now, just because dogs do fight, it's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world. If you have kids, I have a lot of boys, they all fight. It doesn't matter to start getting rid of kids. They fight over stupid stuff. The remote, give me a cup of water, move off the couch. All the stupidest things in the world lead to the biggest fist fights, right? So just remember that when you're talking about dogs. Just because you have a dog fight doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It just means we have to now look at your lifestyle, look at what you did most likely to trigger that dog fight, look at what you allowed to take place that caused a dog fight, and look at what you're not doing to prevent the dog fight, and that's the truth. So if you want to stop dog fights, you got to have a serious look at yourself. I get this call every day, at least once a day, from potential clients, previous clients, random people, literally around the world that want to talk about why their dogs fight. And everybody wants it to stop, but very few people are willing to manipulate and manage their own lifestyle in order to prevent the undesirable behavior that is triggered from their lifestyle. That's what it is. Now, hold on. That's it. Ridgeside Rant.